Yeah. Well, this is a perfect segue because one thing, the main topic of tonight that I want to hash out with you is this whole talk in the Splinterlands town hall. I don't know if everyone saw it, but essentially, if you go back and watch it, there was a lot of talk of, hey, we have a lot of slow development right now in Splinterlands because we went from a team of just a couple people. Matt was doing a lot of the coding, but it's not really modernized, or they kept using the word tech modernization is what they're trying to do, so that as they bring on other devs, they can get, upscaling quicker. They can get people on the team that know this kind of coding already. What Matt was doing really wasn't friendly to new developers, apparently. I mean, I'm not a coder myself. I'm not a developer. So, some of that stuff was over my head, but that was essentially the explanation is, hey, we need to get some of this tech modernization out so that we can streamline things faster, get the ball rolling, and while right now it's really slow, down the road, things are going to be much quicker. So I want to get your guys' thoughts about that. First of all, does that give you more, of an insight to that? Does that help in that explanation? Does that give you more hope moving forward? Or is it just, whatever, like, cool excuse, guys, nice one, try again?
For me personally, it actually gives me hope moving forward. I feel like this is going to be very good for the future stability of Splinterlands. And people keep saying, the progress is so slow and, things keep getting pushed back. But do you guys remember where we were like 3 months ago when end of season would come around and all of the servers would catch fire? Like, we've come so far. And Baron and I were actually talking last night. They moved from something called waterfall development, I think, to agile development, where they release changes more slowly. Like they release small changes, more slowly. So it's not just a big dump of changes and then things go wrong, and there's a lot more control. And that is like the gold standard for how you're supposed to do things. So I really think that, it's okay that things are getting delayed. It's okay that they're, putting out dates to give us an idea of when it might happen. But they're not saying this is when it's going to happen. They're saying this is the general time where we think it's going to happen. The dates are flexible. You have to be flexible, I don't want them to rush land. I mean, I'm a landowner myself. I don't want them to rush land and have it suck and not be good and, just be this terrible experience because we've waited so long for it. We've spent so much money on it. I would rather wait another year and have land be amazing than, have it next month and have it be crap. That's my perspective.
Rogue, how about for you? What were your, I don't know if you watched the town hall, but what were your thoughts if you did?
I did. I was actually streaming during it, and that was, I think, side note, I don't think I'm going to try to co-stream with the town hall again. I think I'm just going to do my own thing because that was rough. I had the stream going, town hall was up, we were listening to that. Some people were talking like this, and then aggro would come on, and I was just God, I'm trying to adjust my volumes, and I'm it was
I'm
rough.
sure After Sound can give you some good recording tips. Maybe a little compression limiter work there.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, it was just trying to live stream the town hall was very rough. I think I'm just gonna do my own stream, but no, I was listening. Again, I didn't get anything. I'm actually kind of the bandwagon that they should totally start to go every other week, in my opinion. I personally I don't like the town halls without at least Nate or Matt. And I know that's hard to say, because I Splinterlands team as a whole, trust me, I love you guys, but I look to those two for my excitement or the the eye candy or the big alpha drops, and so anything else, and it's honestly it's on me. I'm just, my expectations are too high, and so it's my fault. But in terms of the slow development, no, I don't have any issues with it because I haven't been here for all of it. I came in during the hype and kind of watched it come down to where it's at now. So I'm not in a rush, and when Aggie tells me, when Aggie says look guys, when the first one comes out, it's gonna be like drinking from a garden hose. I legit, I believe that, and it's gonna go so fast because like I couldn't imagine. I think After Sound, I think you were in like what, like maybe a month before stuff started to go like, you know,
Yeah,
or
I
something.
joined in August, so
Yeah, so it like you like Untamed was still available
no, I came in right after Untamed sold out.
right after. Okay,
Same.
because yeah, it was like I couldn't imagine coming into the game at that time and being like, hey, and then watching everything skyrocket before I had what I wanted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you know, when he says that, like, you know, you're not going to have enough cards for land, you know, you're not going to have enough, you know, like you don't have enough SPS staked, you don't have enough of this. I believe it. I 100% believe it. And I don't need to go rushing into that because I'm not ready. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a silver level chaos deck. That's like my next milestone is I want to be silver level chaos. I want to be like 7K SPS staked. And that'll take me a couple months now, I would say, like to get to that point. So I'm patient, you know, 100%. But then I also do believe that like they are just getting more official. Like it's going this way because it's not just one person doing it anymore and trying to rush out things. Like I do believe that when they went down to Florida and they put the team together and said like this is the way we're going to do things, like as Aggie always says, you know, how to make the sausage. Like we haven't seen the first sausage come off the line yet, but I got a feeling once it does, machine approved sausages. So like I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah, I'm more of a bacon guy. Sorry, Rogue.
Right? Love bacon.
After Sam, how about you? I mean, I know you're kind of on the team now. Obviously, you're mostly just with the art and lore stuff, but how have you felt more so just as a player and such, watching the development of Splinterlands these last few months?
Yeah, I mean, look, I still identify more as a player than anything. Okay, so just to from a very like high level, like my main message to people is if you believe in this game, I say this with all love, but no matter how much complaining you do on any and all channels, you're not going to make things go faster, right? So if you do believe in the future of the game, you do believe that once these things are live, that things will start to turn around, then stop complaining and just start taking advantage of the situation that we have right now. As Rogue was saying, like, if you don't think we're going to have enough for everybody in the future, then do whatever you can right now to accumulate all the different assets, to level up your deck, to get to whatever thing you're trying to get to, because it will be so funny to see if the general sentiment changes in 2, 3, 4 months, where it's just like, oh, like I wish I'd had more time. Right. And everybody now is complaining about all these delays. And if all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't expect, prices to 3-4x overnight. Like, I'm not ready for this yet. It'll just be so ironic if that happens again. I'm not saying that
happen.
I'm not saying it'll happen in this time frame, but I genuinely believe that we can get there in the future. The thing is, like, to go back to the tech modernization part, I think it's important. I think it's necessary. I will say that I do believe that the way that it was presented to us and the timelines we were given, the deadlines weren't hit. So from a community perspective, I think everybody is well within their right to feel frustrated. So I'm trying to empathize with folks there. I'm also trying to understand from the team's perspective that, like, when you do something and you solve a problem, you realize that in order to solve that problem, you got to solve like 2 more before it, right? And the fact that they've grown rapidly, there's a lot of new people on the team. Like the best situation that we could have been in, the best solution would have been to clone Matt, right? But that's not, well, it's not legal, or I don't know.
Might be possible. We're not sure.
Possible.
I'm sure
I don't know if it's legal.
enough money,
But the best solution would have been to clone Matt. But since we can't do that, they brought in a lot of other really talented folks who, and I don't know. Matt's the one who said this on one of the town halls. Like, I'm not a coder, but I can understand what he was trying to say, where it's just like you kind of do things the way that it makes sense to you, even if it's not the most efficient or if it's not standardized. So now a lot of that is like translating Matt code to standardized code so that anybody who has, like, I'm just going to C++, Java. I'm just throwing out terms out there to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. But like C++, like people who have that kind of coding knowledge and language, like they can come in and just plug and play and be like, okay, I can look at this code, I can understand what's going on, and I don't need to talk to Matt and have him walk me through it. So there's a lot of value in that. And the fire hose analogy which Rogue brought up, like, I think that's Aggie probably getting a little a little bit of a rally there. I don't know that we're going to see a fire hose moment, but I can definitely see once things are firing on all cylinders, we'll start to get things in a more timely manner, and more so actually they'll start hitting the deadlines that they put out there. Because right now I think they just had so many ideas, so many things that they wanted to get to, and it's great because they're sharing all this with us, but I don't think that they had the resources, and then when they got the resources, they didn't realize that the resources needed like X amount more time to get these things done.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying there of putting on both hats. You have the community hat on and you say, okay, well, you guys did say modernly, like at the start of the year, it's May, like, whoa. We don't even have a date for it. Technically, you guys keep saying next month. I
just want modern before 2023. That's all I ask. Modern before 2023.
So I agree. Like, we should empathize with those who are feeling frustrated, because in some sense I'm feeling frustrated as well. But then as you put on the team hat, as you said, and of course I'm not on the team, I don't know all the backstory and all the background conversations they're having, but from the outside, what it looks like happened was the game blew up exponentially. They were not ready for that. It went from an indie game to hiring almost, I don't know at what level you qualify AAA, how many employees, but they're getting close-ish. I mean, they're like almost, I don't know, full-time employees, but total employees like over 100 now. Mm-hmm. And I think what they had in mind was, here's the dates we are going to hit with the team before this. And now that we hired so many people, I think they needed to realize, we got to hit the brakes. We got to get the systems in place. We got to update everything. We got to get the tech modernization out. And I don't think it was like, we're trying to put out dates that we aren't going to hit. Of course, they would never do that, right? That's just stupid business. But I think they just didn't realize how much time it was going to take for these things to really get streamlined. And so it wasn't necessarily a false promise, but maybe misinformed, or maybe they weren't clearly seeing what was ahead for the next few months in Splinterlands and how long it would take. So maybe you can blame them for not seeing far ahead enough into the future to make these changes. But I don't get this sentiment that other people are saying of, I can't trust the team now because they're not hitting these dates. And that's where I disagree, I guess, with some of the people in the community. It's like, I'm writing off the whole team because they haven't delivered.
Yeah, so. I agree with you on that. As somebody who is married to somebody who works in the IT fields, I can definitely empathize with the team. Like when you're working with development and IT stuff, whatever, it just takes time. It takes longer than you expect it to take. And I think what happened, and this is just me. What's the word? The word's escaping me. This is just me thinking like what the problem might be. I think what happened is they hired people and they thought, okay, well, now that we have more people, we can go faster. But like 9 women can't make a baby in 1 month. There's that old saying, it still takes 9 months to make a baby. And, I think that they just didn't get the dates right. And it's not that they're, trying to be deceitful or anything like that. I think it was just a little bit overly optimistic, and there were setbacks, and that happens. That happens in the tech world, and you just have to deal with it.